there, fellow adult nostalgia buffs. Welcome back. Today, talking about what is commonly referred to, unfortunately, in the collector's arena or the pop culture arena as the evil empire. And that, of course, is Disney Studios. Didn't always used to be that way.
Yeah.
You know, we're fans of classic Disney, the old school stuff before they got all social and political and try to cram their ideas down everybody's throat. Nowadays, it seems like they can't do enough wrong, and they piss people off all the time. And the biggest controversy right now, and this is why I'm asking the question, have they finally killed the Star Wars franchise? Because it seems like that's what they've been trying to do, is murder the franchise. They killed all of the, or made the attempt anyways, with the exception of Carrie Fisher because she died in real life, kill off all of the legacy characters from Star Wars in the most recent trilogy that they did, pissing off most of the original fan base. And people make the excuses, or they make the excuse on behalf of Disney, if you will, oh, well, they're trying to appeal to a younger audience. Well, the younger audience isn't watching this crap, all right? It's majority nostalgic people that are watching it, and you can write a good story and appeal to a young audience also, if you want to be bothered to do it. And we've used the example of Cobra Kai to demonstrate that. Cobra Kai pulled it off. They hit all the nostalgic buttons and appealed to a younger audience at the same time. Good writing will do it. Mandalorian is a good example of this from the Star Wars franchise. But what we're talking about right now is Obi-Wan and all the controversy that's come out of that. And I'm going to warn you, a lot of times this is done deliberately by a company, because negative attention in television, movies, in that area is as good as positive attention. Or like Eric Bischoff used to say during the WCW era, it's the 3 C's of media. Controversy creates cash. So you get a lot of negative attention. You could make it work if you're clever, is what he means by that. And that's what we're looking at here. So we got Moses Ingram, who fans aren't too happy with. First of all, her character's not supposed to be likable anyways, as far as I understand. Have not seen Obi-Wan, heard it's okay, not sure if I even want to be bothered. We don't even have Disney Plus because we're, you know, again,
anti-Disney.
Yeah, not happy with how Disney is in the modern era, and with your purchasing power is how you truly protest with these companies.
Yeah, because people don't care about your comments or you making videos slamming them if you still got the service.
Yeah.
So you didn't really do anything. Nobody's sitting there reading your comments.
You're still paying them, so what the hell does Disney care what you think?
You know, and I've said it before, and it's the truth. Your power is in your pocketbook. If you stop buying, you stop paying for these subscriptions, that's how you get their attention. You're not getting their attention by complaining because you don't have customer service anymore.
Yeah.
The customer is not always right anymore. You protest.
That era's gone.
Yeah, you protest by not buying, not purchasing. Marching doesn't work. Holding up picket signs, standing in front of Disney parks, blocking the entrance. Who cares? They'll just call the police and move you on along.
That's fuel for their fire, because they can turn that and they can put you on the defensive, which is what they're doing here. People are complaining. They're going to take the most negative comments or the ones that they can work with, and they will showcase them to draw sympathy. And that's what they're doing with Moses Ingram, and that's what Moses Ingram is doing. And I think more so, Moses Ingram as a person is what people were initially upset with. Because and I can't find them now because there's a flood of Disney authorized information out there now. But previously there was a complaint with some things that she had said about not enough diversity being displayed in the Star Wars universe or something like that. And, you know, people were making the argument, what about Carl Weathers? What about
James L. Jones
Yeah,
was
James
in
Earl
there.
Jones.
Billy D. Williams
Yeah.
was in there. Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, or the I can't remember his name.
The guy from Breaking Bad was in there.
Yeah, that's
You know,
right.
you
He
got
was
a
a
lot of
prominent
people.
character in The Mandalorian, and it's like, what are you talking about? Can't you just act your part? Nope, no, we can't. And if from my understanding, is that that's what triggered a lot of people to begin with. Plus dislike for the character overall. I don't know how good her acting is because again, I have not seen Obi-Wan. Now I'm not even sure I want to bother if it ever does come available. Just because I'm so sick and tired of Disney doing this kind of stuff. And she will play up to it because she wants that negative attention. It works. It does work in Hollywood. Then you have other people chiming in. Now Ewan McGregor is getting in on it, and it's like, McGregor, just be quiet. Just be quiet and play Obi-Wan. we don't want to hear your opinion. Nobody wants to hear anybody's opinion on this. It's like I said, they're going to pick this out and they're going to showcase it to draw attention to themselves, and they're pound their chest and act like they're so holier than thou. Oh, there's no room for racism in the Star Wars universe. And then when it looked like that wasn't going to work anymore, now Disney is making statements about how Star Wars fans are showcasing their sexism because they were questioning why little girl Princess Leia was being shown. Because they're on Tatooine, am I mistaken? And Obi-Wan's on Tatooine, and Luke is on Tatooine. Why aren't we seeing young Luke? And I think that's what people were asking. Makes sense, because Leia shouldn't be anywhere near there. Again, I didn't see it, so I'm not sure how the storyline is going, but that makes sense to me. How's that sexist? Questioning how come we're not seeing a character that would be on that planet as opposed to one that wouldn't be anywhere near it, because they were deliberately separated at birth according to the storyline. So that's what Disney's going to do. They're going to whip you up. Then you got these other nitwits. They're going to chime in because they want to draw attention to themselves
in their channels,
on their channel or wherever they are, whoever they are. Ben Shapiro is one. Now he's on blast in the news, going on about his opinion on it. Ben Shapiro, do you even watch Star Wars? Do you even know what Star Wars is? Ben Shapiro, of course, is a political commentator, and he's calling out Star Wars fans for being cowards. He said, you're all cowards for when you didn't bother to defend Gina Carano. Is it Gina Carano? Gina Carano, the woman who was fired from Mandalorian. It's like, oh, you didn't stand up for her at all when Disney did that. Really? Are you sure you know what you're talking about? Because the Star Wars community, for the most part, was in an uproar when Disney fired her. They were pissed at that decision. They were very upset about that. They liked her character in The Mandalorian. And when they made the decision to fire her because of a comment she made, they didn't think it was justified at all. And what she was commenting about was censorship. That was her complaint. And she was a Hispanic woman. So where's your racism and sexism now, Disney?
Yeah, I mean,
they liked her.
Yeah, she was a person of color, and I mean, it's all about the way the wind blows. The wind is blowing now on this people of color and these women, hear me roar and all of this mess. And it's like, nobody wants to hear that. You just want to watch TV. If you want to hear about racism and sexism and stuff,
you can find it.
Yeah, you can find it on a political channel. You can go to CNN, Fox, or somebody. You can go to Ben Shapiro's channel and other news political commentators' channel and hear that. You want to, unwind. You want to watch Disney. You want to unwind with that or some on Netflix, or you want to watch sports. You can't even watch sports anymore because it's highly political.
Yeah.
You have nothing left to unwind with.
It's been forcibly injected into almost every aspect of our culture at this point. And people will make the argument, and wrongly so, that, oh, well, there's always been politics in sports. There's always been politics in television shows and movies. Demonstrate that. It is very difficult for you to actually demonstrate that, because I'll throw that out there. Show me the politics and social subjects in Three's Company. Show me the political and social construct in the A-Team. Where is it? Show it to me in Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, MacGyver,
Yeah,
Knight
MacGyver,
Rider.
Knight Rider. Any of those old shows
Yeah.
that we grew up with, where is it exactly? And if there is something, it's very small.
And it was one time. It
Yeah.
wasn't pushed over the entire season.
It wasn't built around that concept,
Yeah, yeah,
basically. Now they're writing to forcibly inject those concepts into it. And it's, all aspects of media now, not just television and movies, comic books, all these industries are hurting. And it's because of this bad writing and because of these attitudes. And people are tired of it. You want to escape somewhere and get away from all of those political and social views and opinions. You're tired of hearing everybody's opinion and being told that you have to agree with whatever it is, or being put on the defensive because you don't agree, even if you don't mean any harm. This is the thing. It's like, okay, asking how come we're looking at toddler Princess Leia instead of toddler Luke, when toddler Luke would make more sense in the storyline, doesn't mean you're sexist.
yeah.
It doesn't.
And comments like that show you that your opinion doesn't matter.
No.
Because if they was like, okay, why are fans asking us this question? Writing team, why are they asking us that?
Yeah.
Oh, they're asking because in the original storyline, it should have been Luke. Well, why isn't he there? Put out a reason. They don't care about you or why you're asking that or what the story is about, because they're writing their own thing, because it's about the new agenda.
They're writing for themselves.
Yeah, not for you.
To impress each other, or
Yeah.
to try to inject a concept into a storyline. And, in places also where you would see a storyline. I hesitate to talk about it because I wanted to do a whole discussion on it, and that's out of the comic industry. They always bring up, like you talk about forced political and social agendas, like DC making all their characters gay now or whatever, to I don't know, prove something, or
Yeah.
prove diversity, or slamming extra female characters into things that don't make sense. And they were like, oh, well, they've always been controversial in comic books, and Captain America used to fight Nazis. Yeah, when Captain America was fighting Nazis in the 40s, nobody liked Nazis, okay? At least in the United States. I mean, they had influences in other countries where they were popular, like Argentina, but in the U.S., the majority of people didn't like them. They weren't trying to convince an audience, they were pandering to it, all right? When you saw things that look controversial now, when you go back in comic books or in movies and television, it was already popular public opinion. They weren't writing to try to change your mind or to try to force you to look at a viewpoint or force their opinion on you. Or if they did, they would alter it, or it would be changed or have a different ending. And I say that because if you've ever read The Jungle, which it focuses primarily around the meatpacking industry, and Teddy Roosevelt being pissed off about that book is why the FDA was created. The book is actually about socialism, but you can't tell unless you read the version that has the last chapter in it, which was removed when it was published, because they were like, this is a great story, but this last chapter where you try to convince people socialism is cool, it doesn't make any freaking sense, dude. Because if you read it with that bit in, it actually doesn't make any sense. You're like, wait a minute, why are we going in this direction? What the hell is this about? Because I've read the whole version, and when you get to the end, you're like, what the hell? But the option was there, if you wanted to read it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, The Jungle's a pretty interesting book.
Yeah, but back to Star Wars.
Back to Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very beloved franchise that is near and dear to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's very nostalgic, and we talked about in one of our last Fading Nostalgia discussions, why are all of our favorite franchises being killed? And it's because of the greed of these companies viewing it only as a franchise and trying to see how much money they can make out of it. And this negative attention will make them money. They will profit from it. More people will watch the show trying to figure out what's going on than would have otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
Yeah.
It is a model that works, although it can eventually seriously backfire. But for everyone else, it's not just a franchise, it's a cultural phenomenon. Star Wars, when it was released, wasn't expected to do well. It was, May 25th, 1977, shown in 30 theaters because they were like, this movie's going to blow. And it turned into a cultural phenomenon. And that's why people, even in our age category, are fascinated with it, want to reach back and grab hold of it. It's why the original trilogy is still the best, because it was written as a labor of love, not just to make money. Now it's just done to make money. The toys are produced to make money. The shows are made to keep interest in the product so that they can continue to sell toys, accessories, and advertising. They don't care if it's good or not, as long as somebody's watching it and as long as somebody's paying for it. That's what's killing all of these franchises, and that's what's killing Star Wars. And people are so pissed right now at the controversy around what apparently is a good show, from what I'm hearing, that they're liking the storyline of Obi-Wan. But all of this behind the scenes garbage is turning them off. And it's been going on for too long. It's like, Disney, can't you just shut up and produce stuff?
Well, the thing that gets me is nowadays it seems like actors and musicians are activists before they're actors. Like before, some years back, it doesn't seem like, actors and musicians had things to say, but they weren't really an activist. Every so often something would come up and they might say something. But now they're more of an activist than a actor or a musician.
Yeah, or an athlete or whatever.
Yeah, or an athlete.
We're in this cultural concept now of social influencers.
Yeah, social justice warriors.
People act like social influencers are an actual thing. I don't believe in the concept at all. I don't think these people influence anybody. I think that like-minded individuals gravitate towards them, and I think other people that have their own agenda gravitate towards them and pretend to go along because they think they're going to gain something from it. But I don't think that they actually are changing anyone's mind. I think they alienate more people.
I don't know, because you got weak-minded people whose minds are easily changed.
That's true too.
Because they're not rooted and grounded in anything. So these social influencers, or social media influencers, or whatever you call them, they can say and do anything because nobody knows what they think or what they feel on their own. And it's the truth. You ask people, and they did this with one of those Kardashian sisters, trying to get her to say what her favorite color was. She didn't even know because, she didn't have a thought. And they couldn't pin her down to one thing. She kept coming up with what everybody else says.
Or she was afraid to specify something because she thought that she would get negative feedback from other people.
And it's like...
It could be that, too.
And that's the society that we live in, where you don't know what your own personal thoughts are. You have to go to social media. It used to be talk shows. You went to talk shows to know what you...
the downfall of society there, early 90s.
Yeah, you went to talk shows to know what you thought and feel about a topic. Now you go to social media. You go to Twitter, YouTube, Facebook and all of them other places to know what you think and feel about a certain thing. And they tell you, okay, this is what's going on. This is how you should feel about that. Oh, okay, I feel this way. I don't like this. I don't like that. You know.
Or you pretend to go along because you're afraid of backlash.
Yeah.
You know, we grew up in an era where an idea or a story would be presented to you and you would decide how you felt about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now they tell you how to feel about it, and then you decide if it's even true.
Which is hard to do.
Yeah, which is hard to do. Or if you even have the courage to say anything about it without getting negative backlash.
Yeah. And how much do you care about that negative backlash?
Yeah. People apparently care a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be afraid to speak your mind, even if it does come off as negative.
Yeah, but back to the girl. I mean, you
Moses.
say, yeah, whatever. She's talking about how they're not people of color in Star Wars. Now, I've never seen a Star Wars movie in my life. I really honestly don't care to. It's nothing that I want to see. But with that, even I know that there are black people. I don't know about other races, honestly. I know there are black people in Star Wars. I knew all the time. Like I said, I knew Billy D. Williams was in it. I knew Samuel Jackson played something.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah, I didn't know about that, but I knew black people was in it. Now, she's in the show. Okay, maybe she's never seen it, but still, it seemed like, okay, you get offered a part in a show that you've never seen. Maybe you want to say, oh, what? Okay, I've heard of Star Wars, but really, what is Star Wars all about? Let me read something, pick it up on Wikipedia or something. Or you can just go, well, who's played in this thing before? You can do Star Wars and look up the cast, and they'll show you the picture of all of the people. Oh, okay, with some black people in there, and you know, maybe Samuel Jackson was my dad or something. You know, the character or something. Who knows? But people today, it seems like they just say anything without any research. You just let stuff just fall out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You don't research. You don't think about it. You don't say, well, hey, let me go look this up or check this out before I open my mouth.
Like Ben Shapiro talking about Gina Carano.
Yeah, like they had some, I think it was a rapper or something a few months back on Twitter was saying, how come all black superheroes have black in their name? And then some people started throwing in all of these black superheroes that didn't have black in their name. And it's like, why would you say that when you got the internet there? Half of the stuff is fake.
Look it up before you say something.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff on the internet is fake, but some stuff is not fake.
Yeah.
You know, you can look up black superheroes in comic books.
A nice long laundry list of characters.
Before you just come out there and just say something and make yourself look like an idiot. Like, you're so stupid you couldn't figure that out on your own, or just ask a couple of people. If you didn't feel you got the time and energy to sit on Twitter, the internet, because you got to have internet to get on Twitter.
Yeah.
But you couldn't say that thought came to your mind, or you heard somebody say it, because I've heard that said a long time ago before I even knew or even cared. I never cared.
Yeah.
Every black superhero got black in their name, you know. Like I said, I never cared before, so I never looked it up. But now, being more into comic books and action figures, I know that to not be true.
I can only think of two off the top of my head. There's like Black Panther and Black Lightning.
Yeah.
And, well, you got Black Adam, but Black Adam wasn't black. Not originally.
Yeah, but I mean, you see the point.
Yeah.
If you got a thought in your mind and it sounds controversial, at least look it up before you go on the internet for the world to see.
And then, but
and
you
then
know,
it
they're counting
come up
on
being fake.
They're counting on the fact that most people will like, oh yeah, that's right, and they don't know either. They're counting on that ignorance.
Yeah, but then by the time you figure it out, then you look stupid. To me, You look like an idiot because
Oh.
it's like that was something simple that could have been
Sure.
researched.
Nope, no time for that.
I guess.
Got to get those thoughts out there fast.
No matter how stupid your thoughts are.
And that's why I brought up Ben Shapiro, because like I said, he's a political commentator.
Ben Shapiro's a shield. I watched him a couple
Talking
of
about-
times. He says some things that are cool sometimes, but some of the things he said you gotta watch.
Talking
He's a
about
stooge.
Gina Carano and how the Star Wars fans, again, are cowards because they didn't stand behind her when she got fired. Yeah, they did.
I remember
was,
them.
There was a big backlash from
Yeah,
that.
they was.
And Disney was like, we don't care what you think.
Yeah.
And just kept cranking out episodes. And
Yeah,
you
and
kept,
fired her.
and you kept watching them.
Yeah.
And bought the toys.
You kept your subscription.
Yeah.
You kept watching the show. Now they're on whatever season they're on. They're putting out more. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. As long as you're paying for the service, as long as you're buying the toys, long as you're going to the theme park, long as you're going to Star Wars World that's in Disney World,
Which is extremely expensive. It's
Who cares?
crazy expensive.
because
Yeah.
the time of complaints that died out when customer service, when you couldn't go to the store and file a complaint, customer service was over.
Yeah.
That's when your complaints died. You can't go to the store and make a complaint. So you think
They don't want to hear what you have to
you
say.
think you're gonna get on Twitter and make a YouTube video and get on Facebook and complain and somebody gonna hear you and they're gonna change things? You're wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And again, it also, a lot of people also, they subscribe just to watch the show and then unsubscribe. But then when the next show comes on, you're going to
You're gonna
subscribe back.
subscribe again.
So even that popping in and out, I mean, they're still profiting from it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
some things to think about. And I'm just wondering, could this be a death knell for them finally? Because
I
they've done a
don't
lot to hurt. I think Disney's done more to hurt the franchise than help it.
Yeah,
quite
but people
frankly.
are still. I mean, it's fine to be in the franchise, like I like Disney all the way to Lion King. I don't know which came out. Okay, I like the Lion King. Then they had Mulan and all of that. I watched all of that, but after they started with CGI, I think that's when I kind of dropped
Mulan, I
off.
think Mulan's more modern, isn't it?
No, it came out during the 90s.
Did it? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
the first one. They redid Mulan.
Okay. Did a live action one, didn't they?
Yeah, they did some stuff, but in the 90s, that's when I stopped with Disney,
Yeah.
in the 90s. And now they have the Marvel films.
And they don't have to be such cowards because you can take a stand and, as a company, Tom Cruise, who is, as I understand it, kind of a jerk in real life, but Tom Cruise with the Top Gun Part 2, people who have seen it have said it has a really good nostalgic feel. He has a Taiwanese flag in there somewhere. It's on the plane or on his jacket or something, they were saying. And China says, we're not going to show the film if you don't edit that out. And Tom told them to go and F themselves, basically. I'm not changing anything. Guess what? The film's doing fantastic.
Yeah.
He didn't crawl and beg like they made John Cena do for having the nerve to say that he thinks that Taiwan's a country and grovel and apologize
In
Mandarin Chinese. And it's like, that is pathetic.
Yeah.
That was
That's a
pathetic.
disgrace.
Because there was no mention of Taiwan in the film. What was that? Suicide Squad 2. There was no mention. So what the hell? But you could take a stand.
Yeah.
And they will back down if you're serious.
Mm-hmm.
You see, just to make any example, Disney doesn't have to do all of this.
Yeah. And taking a stand doesn't mean getting on Twitter and writing up a ton of tweets. Because nobody reads. I mean, yeah, people do read it,
But nobody cares.
Nobody
Not really.
cares. The only thing that people care about is money.
Yeah.
That's it.
You got to protest with your dollars. Quit buying them Black Series figures. They're the same ones over and over anyways. But hey, what do you think? What do you think, guys? Is this going to kill the franchise? is are they going to keep cranking stuff out? I'm sure they're going to keep cranking stuff out.
Yeah, it's not
anyways.
going to kill the
Yeah.
franchise.
Are you tired of it? Are you tired of the politics and social agendas, not just in Disney, but in all of it? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. We hope that you did. Share it if you can. Spread the love. Subscribe if you're new. All that good stuff. And again, you know, big old school Star Wars fan. And I never thought about race or gender in the Star Wars.
And that's the thing.
You know, never occurred to me.
If you
But-
really think about it, looking back at the old movies like that, cartoons, TV shows, a lot of people did not think about race. When they watched those shows, if you're really honest with yourself, you didn't even thought about, oh, how many black people are in this show? How many women are in this
That's
show?
a modern concept.
Yeah, they just started, well, not just, but maybe, you know, in the mid-90s, 2000s or something, started counting up how many blacks
Yeah, that's
you
a
got in the show.
that's a
how many.
21st century thing.
Yeah.
Really.
People never cared about that stuff. You just watch the show. Oh, that's a good show. I like it. Okay. Or, no, that's not a good show. I'm not going to watch it.
I
okay.
never watched Star Wars as a kid and sat there and said, "Gee, is Billy Dee the only like black main character? How come there's not another black main character?" It's because I just enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
It didn't. It didn't. And to a lot of kids back then, it didn't matter.
Who
They
was your
didn't
favorite
care.
character growing up on the A-Team? It was
Yeah.
probably Mr. T.
Mr. T.
It was probably B.A. Baracus. His character was just fun. You know, it was
Yeah.
fun. He was cool. You didn't sit there and say, well, you know, there's 4 members on the team. Shouldn't half of them be black?
Or
Or-
one, at least one, a woman.
A woman? The,
You did not think about
Stan,
that stuff.
The Stan Lee ratio. The Stan Lee ratio. 'Cause 3 males to 1 female character. 3 males to 1 female character. That's the Stan Lee ratio, seriously. That's why the Fantastic Four has 1 woman.
No.
Anyways, again, let us know what your thoughts are. We hope you got something out of the conversation, and get the conversation going in the comment section below. And if that's it, then what more can we say? But thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.